Before you pay a company like Higgsfield yet another dollar, you'll want to see this. These videos, product shots, websites, slide decks, and reports all came through one creative studio I built for a fraction of another monthly creative subscription. Through one interface, I can access up to 37 cutting-edge models and use both photo and video models as I please. And on top of that, I can access all of the same services through things like connectors and MCPs in things like Claude Code and Codex. I own the interface, the routing, the prompt intelligence, and most importantly, a completely transparent cost breakdown. And this means that I'm no longer locked by another provider's credit system, features, or roadmap. And if you watch this video till the end, I'll give you the skills and the clone of my creative studio so you can set it up and own your own product. So if you're ready to run your own content factory out of the box, then let's jump in. So to start things off, I'm going to show you how simply we can create something like a user-generated content clip just using a sample image and dropping it into this AI-generated UI using existing applications and APIs that you can take off the shelf. So if we go into a brand new tab and we write cool products and we click on images and we scroll down for something that is demoable. Okay, so let's say we take this pizza oven here and we save this pizza oven on our computer. Let's go to the next step, which is actually dragging and dropping it. And just like any other platform, we can click on this plus button right here. We can drag and drop the little file and we can set it to UGC add and we'll say, I want someone who's super enthusiastic about using this pizza oven and says how much time it saves them and how great the crust of the pizza comes out once they put it in. So we will put that there. We'll click on, let's say, man in his 30s. We'll just click on refine prompt. This will use AI to make this prompt better for this specific model. Then we'll click on generate. And then voila, you'll see right here, it is using Veo 3.1 fast. But like I said in the intro, this could be any one of these 37 models. And the best part is I had AI use an existing API that I'll show you in a bit that can do all this dirty work for you. And all you have to do is tell AI to create an interface that always syncs to this API. And just like that, you get a clip like this.
Look at that crash. This saves me so much time.
Now, was that perfect? Absolutely not. We could refine the prompt, we could add some more sample images, we could tell it to really focus in on the person, then the pizza oven. All that stuff is doable. But it's the idea that we have full transparency on exactly how much this cost. We have our ledger on the top right-hand side that we can always keep track of exactly what we're spending and why. And more importantly, you have the flexibility to keep changing this as you need to focus on your use case of choice. And by the way, I'm going through everything at a very theoretical level just to keep things as approachable and as accessible to as many people as possible. But if you want to be able to learn how to build a platform like this from the ground up, how to map out infrastructure, how to use the right tools for the right use case at the right time, and go infinitely deeper to make yourself more confident with things like AI, then you want to check out the first link down below for my early AI adopters community. Typically, every single video that you see on YouTube has a pairing with a deeper dive in the community with exclusive resources, takes, and access to coaches that can help you go from 0 to 1. So if you want to learn how to become more independent and build your own tooling, then check out the first link down below and maybe I'll see you inside. And whether you use Claude, Codex, Gemini, or whatever other language model, you can create your own local MCP that hooks up to this UI. And again, you can have AI do 99% of this. All you have to do is test it. And then you could say something like, use Bench Studio to create a beautiful UGC video of a woman demoing a very interesting product I'd never come across in my day-to-day shopping. That would be a scroll stopper on Instagram. And like you would with other products, it will go and see what inputs it needs for this particular model. My default one is Veo, but you can switch it to anything like a Seed Dance, like a Minimax, etc. And then after a bit, you will get this inline generation. So you can actually create your work within a terminal, within a desktop app, or in the UI of choice. On top of that, you can create 3D websites on the go, documents like PDFs, and really high caliber documents like this one, where we can open this up, and you can see it's well formatted, it's well structured, and it doesn't look like the typical AI slop. And like I said, once I walk you through the mental model of how I built this, I'm going to be open sourcing all of this, including the MCP and the skill that you can use out of the box, so you can take this, run with it, and make it your own. Now, if you go on a platform like Higgsfield, you will have all kinds of different tools, and for the average Joe, you don't need all this stuff. So if you're a creative team, a subscription like this might make sense. It might be infinitely more convenient, especially on a team basis. But if you're just a solopreneur, a small business owner, and you want to be able to generate a handful of creative images, but do so in an easy to use and an easy to observe environment, you don't need all of this. So let me just show you behind the scenes what is happening when we do something like create video. Since this is a wrapper, every single element here we can map to something that we can reverse engineer. So first and foremost, when it comes to uploading media, like you saw me do on my end, this just depends on what the model takes as input. So some image models, video models, can take an actual image or even a video as input to use as the inspiration for what will be generated. So that's one part there. Number two, if we take the prompt, how this works is you as the user can enter a very vague prompt. Behind the scenes, they use some AI to enhance said prompt either in general or for that specific model that you chose. So in this case, this is basically meta prompting, getting AI to write the prompt for AI, comma, with additional information about what model you're using and what are the best ways to prompt said model. So in this case, it's using Seedance 2.0 and it's creating a prompt for that. Now next up, we have the model. And back 2-3 years ago, it would be a huge headache to maintain an entire library of every single model and constantly update it for the latest and greatest. But now, like I'll show you in a bit, we have aggregators that are using APIs that you can tap into, not pay as much of a markup as you would for something like a Higgsfield or a competitor of them, and then be able to take advantage of the exact same infrastructure. So in this case, we just have a model library, in which case we have multiple providers that you can do this with. Then we have the core parameters, and the parameters are really here. So how long the video is, that is really subject to that model. Not every model can do 8 seconds, 10 seconds, 12 seconds, fully contingent on that specific model, as well as the resolution and the bitrate. So those are specific to the model as well. Not all of them will have the exact same configurations. So if I go to something like a Kling, right, all of a sudden bitrate disappeared because that is no longer a variable or a parameter that is relevant to this kind of model. And for this model, it seems like it can take a start frame and an end frame as an input. So the different inputs will change, like we saw here. And the hardest part is just making sure that AI can really tailor your own UI, your own clone, to have all the inputs needed for that specific model at the right time. If you want to be able to recreate this experience to work for you, you have two core paths. Path number one is you use what are called model aggregators. And that's basically what something like a Higgsfield is doing. They're doing all the legwork to pull the latest models, map them, map all the parameters that they take, the things that are optional, the things that are mandatory, and they make it easy for you to use, so very turnkey. There are other services, and some services are called fal.ai and, let's say, key.ai, both of which not affiliated with whatsoever. They do the dirty work as well, where you can hook up to those APIs, and they do all the legwork to constantly crawl all of these existing websites to pull the latest names and the latest models and the latest parameters. So if we go to something like fal.ai, you'll see on trending, you have all of the core brand new models that have come for images. You can check for video as well. You have all the labs here, Kling, Minimax, LTX, Seedance 2.5, and they're always on top of the latest and greatest. So all you have to do is create an account, pour it into it, add, let's say, 10, 20 bucks, and then you take your API key, you feed that to AI, you tell it to create a UI that syncs with the list of models that are coming from this provider, and then when you send a request, you can just ask AI to say, I want to have a box where I ask for a simple thing, and that thing gets carried over, translated into however I'm supposed to send that specific request to that specific vendor. Now option 2 is actually infinitely more simple and potentially cheaper, where you go straight to the source. And what this means in plain English is if you know you want to use a model like Google Veo or Google Omni, or you want to use a different model like a Minimax or Seedance or Kling, all of these vendors here all have individual API documentations. And even if you're non-technical, even if the word API is daunting on its own, you don't have to worry about it. So you can go to Google and put something like Google Veo 3.1 fast documentation. You can grab the first one that looks legit, so this one. This will go through all of the different parameters and everything that would be needed for this particular API. So you can click on video generation and then take this entire page, view it as Markdown, take this whole thing, feed it to Codex, Claude Code, Gemini even, have it go through all the documentation, and it will figure out exactly how to structure API calls. So all you have to do is give it the idea, and you can even tell it, I want you to build a system where you use an additional API key or an additional API credit to go and take my vague prompt and make it something adjusted and optimized for this existing model. Now, how would it know to refine it? Well, with every model, just like you would with any model that comes out of the box, if you go to video understanding, dialogues, text generation, there are always tips and tricks from the model provider themselves as to how you should manipulate and prompt their specific model. So if we go to something that's a little bit more familiar, let's say we go to an Opus 5 model card. Now, this is not a video model, just to show you the concept. Every model in the world has some form of a system card, and in these system cards, they break down how best to prompt said model. If you have AI, go do all the legwork and find all the documentation per provider, assuming you want to use multiple of them. It will figure out exactly how to best prompt it. Once it knows that, then you can send a very vague prompt like this, a stunning drone view, or something even more simple than that, and it will take it and refine it and optimize it for this specific provider. So with that overall understanding, you can really start to map out every single part of this user interface. From these buttons that pretty much have a glorified prompt on each one of them, and then when you click on something like unboxing, these are the different parameters that are associated with something like an unboxing video. And when we click on something like refine prompt, all that's happening behind the scenes is we're just having a cheap workhorse model, let's say a Gemini 3 Flash, that takes that prompt, looks at the reference documentation for this specific, in this case, image model, and takes your vague prompt and just adjusts it for that specific model. And the best part is, model aggregators like fal.ai will also give you an estimate for the generation. So before you even click on a button, you can always forecast exactly how much you're going to spend. So if you're the type of person that would accidentally forget about a subscription and spend $40, $50, $80 a month just to make 10 to 15 images, you could save tons of money over time just by doing a pay-as-you-go model. And that's pretty much it. So like I said, I'm going to be open sourcing this entire repo along with some skills and a full guide on exactly how I built this step by step that I'm going to make available to you completely for free down in the second link. So hopefully you can take all of these resources and the transcript of this video and finally unshackle yourself from any of the providers if you feel like you're not getting the best value for your dollars put in. And as always, if you want to go infinitely deeper on things like Codex, Claude Code, building your own tooling, and becoming an AI beast, then check out the first link down below, and maybe I'll see you inside my community. For the rest of you, if you found this helpful, if you learned something, I would be infinitely appreciative of a like on the video, a comment if you so choose, and I'll see you in the next one.